So, guys, EU in or out?
It's
I
fascinating, isn't it?
Well,
Darren,
do
you
you
go
want?
first.
Is that the question? Do you want to be in or out, or do you think we are going to be in or out?
have absolutely no idea. I mean, this whole Cameron deal, the idea of the red card that we need 14 with us, the whole thing sounds like a sham. But I want to hear from you guys.
I tell you what, I will predict, right? Okay. Now, as I predicted the May general election.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Everybody, pay
Against
attention.
all the
Pay attention.
polls,
Pay
and
attention.
2 months before, I said the Conservatives would win,
Yeah.
and all the polls said it was going to be a hung parliament and stuff. I predict it will be an overwhelming vote to stay in the EU, right? And but this whole thing is a complete sham, right? I mean, I'm with the Eurosceptics on this. I mean, I'm not a Eurosceptic, far from it, but I'm with them on this. It is a sham. This whole deal is absolute rubbish, you know. I mean, you know, in-work benefits, they can't have in-work benefits for 4 years. People don't want to come here to claim benefits. They want to come here to work and pay their taxes. You know, I mean, it is a complete nonsense, really.
Yeah, I think I agree with a lot of that. I think there's no clarity on either side. I think even as someone myself who generally thinks staying in is better, I think that Cameron's deals are nothing. Are nonsense. They're window dressing for the Tory. But it's almost like a Tory party little squabble that's going on. But also, I think that the European Union, as it's formulated right now, is dysfunctional. It's broken. The immigrant crisis is not going away anytime soon, nor is the economic crisis, in terms of Greece and Italy and all the problems with employment and the, bureaucracy and the rules and, the way that the European Central Bank works and all of that. If Britain leaves the EU, the EU, I think, would fail. And I think Scotland would try and leave the United Kingdom as well. But there's no vision for what Britain in Europe, in a positive sense, going forward is either. So there's scaremongering on both sides. So basically, I think it's a disaster on both sides of the argument.
I mean, then in terms of, I mean, the Lib Dems are possibly the most Europhile party. So where do you come from on this?
Well, on this one, I mean, I've got some real personal issues because obviously I have a Dutch wife. I have third nation children who have, basically Dutch and American passports. We, have the ability to go home. If I were to turn around now and suddenly, because the UK was out, and get everybody UK passports, that's about a £4,000 expense out of pocket, and still would not guarantee coverage when we travel to the continent. One of the nice things about the current setup is that if you're ill, you're taken care of no matter where you are in the European Union. All that would be trashed. All that would be gone. On the other side, I don't like the structure of the European Parliament and the European Union and the amount of money that it takes to run that. It's a career, a lifetime career for politicians, a lifetime career for bureaucrats, and that part of it is failing, and that's the part I think people are most upset with. I don't buy the bogus arguments that we can't trade with former partners or any of that. If you want to trade, you'll trade. I don't buy a lot of the fear-mongering that's being done by UKIP on immigration. I just think we need to be smarter about this, and the Cameron approach to it is ridiculous. There's nothing smart about what is coming out of all that.
I mean, it's funny because this whole red card thing, he was slagging that off when the Labour Party tried to introduce it or gave it as an idea. But now he needs to use that idea, and it's just complete and utter window dressing. So in work, out of work. I mean, immigrants are already barred from out of work benefits, so they can't claim benefits if they're not working here. So he's trying to take away the in work benefits, but that won't happen unless there's a particular set of conditions to take place. It's just nothing. It's nonsense.
And it all it does is it makes us look more divisive. And it falls into the hands of IS or Daesh or whatever they're called and others, because it becomes very convenient, both here in the USA, to be against anyone of an Islamic state of any kind or who is a Muslim. And I don't like the way in which we're treating our friends and neighbors. I mean, I had a story on UK Progressive. There's a 10-acre site in Lesbos, just off of Lesbos, where the life rafts and the life preservers cover a 10-acre area. There's like 35,000 people have come just in the course of the last year, as opposed to 2,000 the year before. So it's an issue, but I don't see anybody trying to solve it. I just see people trying to fearmonger it, and I'm so tired, again, as I said earlier, of the Tories and Labour spitballing back and forth, and nobody sitting down and saying, what are we going to do to fix this?
Yeah, one of the reasons I agree with all what you're saying there, but one of the reasons that you're going to get, I think this vote to stay in the EU is that you've got all these bonkers people on the other side, like Nigel Farage and John Redwood and all that lot. I mean, Cameron has played a blinder, I think, by probably keeping in Theresa May and Boris Johnson. She's Home Secretary, Boris Johnson, the cabinet. So all the big guns are going to, campaign for staying in. So all these nutters are going to campaign for keeping out, getting out.
That's just as much about the leadership race for the Tory party as anything else, though, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's silly time, and we've got serious problems that require serious people, and we're not seeing serious action.